is Sharice. I just got back from Bali on my Reset by Design Wellness retreat. I am feeling relaxed. I am in my Balinese caftan and I am feeling amazing. I had the best time ever. Ty, Kina, Bondi, they did a great job. Everything was amazing. Everything was well thought out, very intentional, thoughtful. The workshops were so helpful. We had sound baths, yoga, breath work. It was so good. All of the Instagrammable excursions we went on, we hit everything. We had the best food. There were chefs. Everything was top notch. The villa was amazing. It was the best. And this is my second retreat. And this is why I'm already planning for the third one to Mauritius. I already talked to one of the ladies. We're already plotting to go next year. It was such an amazing trip. I think I knew about 6 or 7 people when we got there, because this was my second trip. By the time I left, I felt like I knew everybody. I felt like I left with 16 sisters. Like, it's such a sisterhood. Everybody's so supportive. It was so peaceful. So you could just be yourself. It was amazing. I loved it. Ty, when I tell you the eye for detail, listen. If you have not booked a trip and you on YouTube watching Bondi talk to you about it, book the trip. And I will see you there.
Come on in, come on in, come on in, not come on in, not come. Sorry, y'all know I'm weird, whatever.
Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. So let's go ahead. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl BondyBlue. Okay, follow me on Instagram and let's get into the video, right?
Yo, what's up everybody? I'm back again for another BondyBlue show. We got a lot of stuff to get into, but not really nothing to talk about. Okay, shout out to the diva girl. We ain't really got nothing to talk about. I was looking at some of these stories. I was like, girl, what y'all want me to do with this? Like, what y'all want me to do with this? Okay, but this is when I proved to just be good old entertaining. Girl, what is going on in the comments? Wait a minute. Girl, my man cheated on me. You cannot be serious. Are you serious? People still cheating in 2025? Goddamn world about to end. Y'all still cheating on each other out there? I mean, I guess you might as well. What else is going on? You know what I'm saying? Anyway, y'all, let me do this. Let me get this shit together right quick. Hold up. We gotta start this shit. All right. Okay, we got New Orleans in the house tonight. Okay, that's better. Hi everybody. Now I can see myself and I can see y'all. Is Bondi. Where they at? Who? Where they at? Who? Where they at? Who? Where they at? Who? Do it, baby, stick it, baby, do it, baby, stick it, baby, do it, baby, stick it, baby, do it, shake that. Listen, all right, I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, this is where we're gonna start today. What's up? That's what's up. No. We still working off the laptop. That's why I said we're gonna leave the laptop, because apparently the laptop is working. So I'm like, okay, girl, because the laptop also moves with me sometimes. So that be, you put your hand up on my hip. When I did, you did, we did. You put your hand up on my hip. When I did, you did, we did. Listen, stupid ass. I need to work out after this. That's all I know. So let's get into it, y'all. Do y'all know who this negro is? Do you know who this negro is? Okay, this is Allan, Love and Hip Hop Miami, Amara Negras baby daddy. That's the only reason you would ever know this young man, unless you knew him in real life. Okay. But yeah, listen. These are the type of the menu my friend they give, they just stud. You know what I'm saying? Like we talk about Mendices, a lot of these niggas that when they got all of these little slits and shit in their eyebrows, you hoes the studs. Okay. You hoes is studs. What's going on? So let's go ahead and get into the thing. Okay. Because I gotta read it to y'all what they said. It's very confusing. Sensitive. This is about to be a trigger warning because Allan is being accused of SA. Just so y'all are clear about it. Allan is being, matter of fact, let me see if I just read it off my phone. Allan is being accused of SA, people. Okay. That is very, very unfortunate, but also not very, very surprising. I need for people to understand sometimes that there's an intersectionality in people being bad people, right? So if you call your baby mama a black bitch and say don't nobody want her, that gives you've internalized racism as a Dominican person, which then also means you probably bullied and treated people bad, right? Bad person. But y'all will want to call it that. Y'all will come with all of these other reasons to act like this is not an evil person right here, right? Okay, so then let's add the way he treats women. If you disrespect women and you don't have any respect for the mother of your children, you don't really have any respect for your wife either. That's why you over here cheating on her and then telling her that it's in her best interest to allow you to cheat on her with a woman on national television because there's something for her to be gained financially for it, right? Because we always willing to sell out things we claim to have moral value in. We love selling those things out for money, like, you know, lying about what's happening in our relationships for reality shows, right? Because people love to do that, you know, that's what they say. But ultimately, when I look at this situation, Allan as an individual, as a person, as a man, is a terrible person. Wait, my mic not on? Hold up. So it would totally make sense. Yeah, I see. Thank you. I thought I fixed it. Thank you. Thank you for that. Because I thought I had put the speakers on right. Is that better? Is that better? Hold up. Let's see. Hold up. Okay. We can hear that. Okay. Sorry, y'all. Y'all were still hearing me though, right? Y'all still were hearing me. The mic is not that bad on this. It's just not like this. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna have to start checking these things, every single thing before I get on now that I'm using my laptop instead of sticking with this computer, which sits up here all the time. But anyway, getting back into Allan. Y'all, it's not surprising to me when any man gets accused of SA when they've already shown that they're a terrible person, either in the way that they've treated they family or treated other women just randomly. That never surprises me. Okay. Like, I'm sorry. I know a lot of people, you know, like to feel like, oh, him being an asshole, him treating women badly. Oh, that's not a sign that he would assault somebody. Shit. Listen, you can believe what you want to. You can believe what you want to. But my way of thinking, if you are terrible enough to a woman in public, if you are terrible enough to a woman in private, if you are terrible enough to a woman who has had your children as to call her a black bitch and say don't nobody want her, yeah, my guy, yeah, it's giving demon. It's giving evil. And it's also giving abusive relationship, regardless to whether the women around him know it or not. I remember looking at Amara in that last season when he came to the you know, they went to the beach. They went to I forgot what island they all went to, but they were on the island and he came, and it was the way I think he was trying to digmatize her, right? He, you know, tried to fuck her to get her all emotionally enmeshed. And I don't think it was working because she still looks sad. Like, you know, I know this Mueses, you know, he picked me up and he gave me the dick and he swung me and he choked me and all this, you know, all this Mueses. It was amazing, you know, like I got my man, you know what I'm saying? I got a man. You hoes don't have a man. I got a man, you know. He gave me dick. He broke my heart, son of a bitch. He called me a black bitch on national television, but he gave me dick. He came to the beach and he gave me dick on the beach. My God, today. And this is why I need for women to learn that there is a difference between men that you actually try to create lives with and men that you just fuck. There are also women that you just fuck. There are women that you don't try to create households with. Like there's a difference. And this is like a better way of explaining it. Cause I feel like when you tell women to stay away from men, they don't listen to you. So I need for y'all to get better about categorizing the men that you fuck with. Allan is not the type of man you have a child with. That he might have good sperm. So he's the type of man he might fertilize an egg, but you don't put his name on the birth certificate. You don't give the children his last name. You don't embed expectations of a father in him in your child. Like, you don't do that. He's a sperm donor and you treat him as such, and you create the reality around your children with the understanding that they're not missing out on anything just because this weird ass nigga is not in the house with them every day. Y'all have to categorize these relationships, okay? Because there really are some people that you're going to have these chemistry, these physical attractions to. And what you're going to do is add deeper feeling to that because of the physical attraction. And the physical attraction, I believe, is really just hormonal, pheromones, chemical. Like, I think that's more of a mechanical, physical body thing. How humans like to categorize shit in order to give it greater meaning, which our brains automatically want to do, is to make it seem as if we're meant to be with this person and it's supposed to be love and all of that bullshit just because you're having a physical chemical reaction to a person. So now you think you and this nigga supposed to be together forever just because he know how to dick you down in a way that makes you feel retarded. Please don't misunderstand me when I say the word. It's the only word that works. Like, you know, you're stuck. Okay, the eyes are gone, the noises are no longer sexy, they might be whatever the fuck they are. You're going through a metamorphosis right now. You have to be careful when you get fucked. Look, I was just on Dominique Morgan's live and she was talking about this. Listen, the people that you come into contact with that you have no real knowledge of, but y'all have amazing sex off rip, those are not love. That's not love. That's chemical. And a way to protect yourself from having real like emotions for niggas that and people, period, that you just not supposed to have emotions for because they can't hold them. They can't hold your heart. So you can only let them hold your coochie for the allotted amount of time. And then you have to let them go back out into the wild. You cannot hold on to them because essentially the energy is like this, like a tornado. Like they come in and whoo, Lord, you know, they blew you around. The shit felt fun. You know what I'm saying? When you stay in the tornado too long, you get fucked up. You stay in the tornado too long, and now you looking like life been beating your ass. And that's how it'll feel emotionally, all over the place. Emotions all over the place. 1 minute you happy, next minute you depressed and sad and questioning yourself. The next minute nigga making you feel amazing about yourself. And again, eyes rolling in the back of your head, retarded fucking, all of that type of shit. It is a drug mechanism. Your body is going through some type of, you know, chemical response to another person's chemical makeup. That's what's happening. It's not love, ho. Now, if feelings like that happen or persist with a person whose personality continues to show up in the same way, different conversation. Niggas you do not know, you do not love them. Come correct, please. Love is a choice. Love is an everyday decision, my nigga. It's not a chemical feeling. I just need y'all to be clear because that's how you get in situations with men like this. This is an embarrassing ass nigga to be your baby daddy. And the only reason you would allow something like this to happen is because you allowed the love bombing magical dick portion of the relationship to make you make like permanent decisions. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you flirt, you fuck around, you pitter patter, and then you fly off into the sunset, never to be seen by that nigga again. Like, y'all have to learn how to put these niggas in the appropriate boxes that they need to be in. Okay, that's all I want for y'all because I know y'all not gonna stop fucking. The world might end. That's the last thing we gonna do is stop fucking. What else are we supposed to do buckle down and wait for Jehovah. Listen, meantime, in between time, people gonna drink and fuck. Like, that's what they're gonna do. So in the process of, us going through hard times, and therefore sometimes wanting to have what people like to call poor pussy management, okay? Remember, condoms. They still sell them. Also remember that depending on what state you live in, you might go to jail if the nigga's sperm is weak. Because women that miscarry, a lot of the times they miscarry because of the strength of the sperm. But somehow if a woman miscarries in the wrong month, in the wrong state, her ass, she might be hemmed up. That's happening more frequently now that we're, in the beginning stages of the Handmaid's Tale and shit. So yeah, I just like to keep y'all familiarized with what we going through in the meantime and talking about stupid shit. Like, and it's not really stupid because this is a part of the problem, is that most of the men are like, they're not okay in the head. So if most of the men in the world are not okay in the head, they don't really know what's going on. They too busy arguing with women about stupid shit to actually use their collective anger in the direction that it actually should be going in, which is the smaller percentage of people that are now owning us all. Yeah, like this is intentional. So let's focus on the bullshit so that we can all be okay for another day. On July 1st, Allan Mueses, Amara Negra's twin girls' father and Love and Hip Hop Miami's personality, I don't know why you would call him that. We do not know him like that. He was charged with first-degree criminal sexual conduct. Now, his alleged victim, whose name remains anonymous, alleges he preyed on her and told her to think about the alleged assault every night, which she does in her nightmares. Allan de Los Santos Mueses, a 40-year-old man, was arrested in Miami, Florida, and extradited to Kalamazoo, Missouri on July 11th. He was released on a $250,000 cash bond on August 8th. Prosecutors say Mueses, who was a Dominican Republic foreign exchange student at Western Michigan University from 2009 to 2013, allegedly sexually assaulted a female student at his apartment in March 2010. She was 20, he was 25. No charges were filed at the time, but she underwent a forensic medical examination. Per M Live on August 14th, the woman testified that they were friends who often played sports together at the campus rec center. When visiting him one day, he allegedly lured her into his bedroom to look at photos of his child, 25 years old with a child, on a foreign exchange student visa in America. Did he learn anything? Who knows? Okay. But something tells me his mama set him up for the best so that he could do the fucking worst. He allegedly, and this to me has nothing to do with him being an immigrant, because I feel like the men that live here do this shit every day, B. So let's not make it about him being an immigrant. Let's make it about the fact that somebody worked real hard to send your ass over here for you to still do some dumb shit that you could have stayed at your house and did. Okay. Because my God. She tried to make him, when visiting him one day, he allegedly lured her into his bedroom to look at photos of his child. He allegedly undressed her and she verbally denied his advances, even showing him her purity ring. He allegedly ignored her and forced sex several times. She tried to make him ejaculate to end it, but he allegedly smacked her hand away. Things got more intense, forcing her to disassociate and stare at a clock on a wall. Mueses, who's pleaded not guilty, reportedly shook his head as she testified. After strong testimony and evidence, the judge moved the case from district court to circuit court. And also something that I'm very confused about when it comes to this case, and I would love for somebody to clarify. When I Googled, I couldn't find anything. And nobody has responded to my comment on this post. But if you read this here, okay, this seems to be a part of the paperwork that Hollywood Unlocked got. The booking date, 7/26, 4:55 p.m. Offense date, 7/26/2025, 5:36 p.m. Posted bond deposition date. Here's the thing that I'm questioning what the hell is going on. Criminal sexual conduct, first degree, person under 13. What is this? What is this? What is this? I don't know how this plays into what we're actually reading from Michigan Department of Attorney General, because I went to their site and read this myself about this case, and this case being with a 20-year-old from an assault that occurred in 2010. So I'm confused about, and apparently the reason why nothing happened is because the state SAKI. Okay, so basically Michigan had a backlog of sexual assault kits. When there's a backlog of sexual assault kits, that means that people are not like going through the whole process, meaning that if somebody says somebody did this to them, they never checked the rape kit. That means that the person who did it still gets to walk around. No arrest is made until they go through the kit, from what I understand, the assault kit. So this basically says Mueses was a foreign exchange student at Western Michigan. The investigation into this case remains ongoing by the Kalamazoo Sexual Assault Kit Initiative, and anyone with information. That tells me that this is somebody's kit that never got tested back when it was reported. So this is, they're going back through it now. For everybody that was wondering why she, this is something from back then. I know how people love to call everything a fucking money grab, but no, it seems as if this case came up through an initiative because the kit was never what do you call it? Investigated, whatever you want to call it. But they put them in a room, and then nobody investigates, but based on what's happening. There's a huge backlog of sexual assault kits in the United States, to the point that how many people are probably walking around free? Right, tested. Thank you. They take the DNA off the body, and then they have to test it, but they don't hurry up and test it. If they don't test it, then that means there's no investigation that takes place. Thank y'all. So yeah, this is the greater story here is terrible. That imagine how many people are walking around that have assaulted somebody, but because of the malfeasance in office of public officials, primarily police officers that, seemingly at a high statistic are assaulters themselves. But it seems that, like, I don't know what the stats are, but I've heard that police officers have a very high rate of assaulting physically, like beating their wives and stuff, and then also SA. So yeah, it makes sense as to why so many kits don't actually get tested and why there's a backlog. That's because the people that are in charge are invested in this system staying this way because they don't want to get caught up. A lot of men have I did it and I got away with it, so I don't want to stop anybody else from getting away with it type of mentality when it comes to assault against women. And I think a lot of men have assaulted women and don't want to be honest with themselves about that, especially when it comes to coercion, not listening when people tell you to stop. It's a lot of men that will never ever get in trouble for assaulting women, but they have. And the women are the ones that hold those stories. The women are the ones that don't say anything. The women are the ones that continue those relationships. The women are the ones that have to carry the truth of the fact that a nigga knew exactly what he was doing when he took something, coerced, whatever. And it's in her best interest not to say anything. That's the wild part, y'all. That's the wild part. Hold on, let me see what it say. True. I got locked up one night in my 20s. Let's say he wasn't acting like a cop. Listen. Police don't test. No, I'm sure it's like a forensics, right? But isn't that a part of the police department? Like, doesn't there have to be like a chain of command where the police are housing and or delivering and or doing the paperwork that's assigned to kids? Listen, I don't know the statistics. I mean, not the statistics. I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly, but I do kind of assume that the reason why a lot of people get off is because police don't always do their jobs. That's what I assume. And I assume that police don't do their jobs when it comes to certain things because they are invested personally in those things, being swept under the rug. They aren't scientists. Well, that's not what I meant when I said, like, I assume police departments have people on staff that do that. I'm sorry. Is it not like SVU where, you know, they have an office that the police are to be like working in tandem with that test these things? Is that not how it works? Or did I sound as if I meant that actual police officers are going to test it? That's not what I meant. I'm I don't know. I don't know. You're a proud retired police officer. Okay. Congratulations. Um, but yeah, so then that makes me feel like, are you purposefully misunderstanding me? That's what that made me feel like. So because you're a police officer, did we say something that made you feel uncomfortable and now you're purposefully misunderstanding me? Like, you know, because that's odd. Who said I thought actual police officers were testing it? Um, Bondi, my client. Thank you for the super chat. Bondi, my hold up, what does that say? Because I can't see. Oh yeah, no, Sam Doles, aka Nurse Moonshine. Thank you for the super chat. Bondi, my client, passed on A4. I'm sorry to hear that. Some of her final moments were spent laughing at you and CTV with me. Thank you for what you do. I'm sorry to hear that. And I'm glad that I'm something that you guys could enjoy in such a way. I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you. Um, but yes, y'all, this story is just really perplexing to me and really sad, but also not surprising. Let's move on. What else is going on? So let's get into Tory Lanez. Once again, I know that some people are sometimes new here. Hi, I am not a Tory Lanez supporter. I believe that he shot Megan Thee Stallion. I do not believe that there was a conspiracy to take another black man down. If you believe that, this is not the place for you. So that's just a warning before we get into any Tory Lanez stories, because there are often people in the comments that just seem to have like made a wrong turn when they got here. So let's listen.
Hours after the shooting, appellant made a recorded call to Harris stating that he didn't even remember what they were arguing about, and he wanted to know the hospital where Pete was being treated. He blamed alcohol for the quote unquote shit that he did. Now, the second one was later that day, appellant sent a text to Pete, to the victim, and that text was preserved. In it, appellant said he would probably never talk to him again, that he was sorry, and he blamed again the alcohol for the quote unquote shit that never should have happened. And then the third and final is the verified Instagram post that I'll also get to. Now, appellant's assertion is that he really wasn't accepting blame for having shot Pete, but for causing a rift in the relationship between Pete and Harris. And that's just nonsensical. First of all, Harris told the appellant she was at the hospital waiting for Pete. So if there had been a momentary rift that night, it was over because she's now at the hospital waiting for her friend that she's known for 7 years to be released and checking on her. Second, appellant didn't apologize to Harris, but yet he anticipated that Pete would never talk to him again. He was clearly accepting responsibility for something very big, something that applied to Pete, but not to Harris. And as appellant said, he couldn't remember what they'd argued about.
I hate that somebody actually has to like read this to everybody so that they can comprehend what's being said, because this is very simplistic to me. It's very simplistic. You apologized over the phone. You apologized several times. After apologizing, with everybody thinking that you were guilty, you then got online and started to act as if, oh no, this isn't true. But then you were also chopping hooves in a music video and writing an entire album talking about the relationship, but never really saying what happened. Tory had many opportunities to say exactly what happened, and he never said exactly what happened. Do you know why? Because he did it. Because he shot her. He shot her, hun. And all of this shit thereafter is him trying to escape accountability and responsibility for his actions. And I know we live in a world now where y'all think that, oh, because someone can legally keep appealing something, they should. I feel like, no, you did it. take the fucking L. Take the L. You need to sit down somewhere. You were being violent with more than just her. I imagine if he would have got off on this, he would have continued to escalate until he finally unalived somebody. People that are like escalating in their violent behavior in a short period of time, like those people a lot of the times will elevate to unaliving somebody. First, you hitting people and knocking people over the head with shit. Then you shooting at somebody. If he would have got away with this, the obvious escalation of his behavior would have been for him to eventually have unalived somebody if that hasn't already happened. And I believe that there may be some allegations or something about something happening and it getting expunged from his record. I'm not exactly sure. But there's some, missing information on the internet nowadays surrounding Tory Lanez history in Canada. So, yeah. But either way, the fact that so many times we have to keep getting on the fucking internet to tell y'all the same shit over and over again, this is not rocket science. And if you think it's more than what it is, at this point, you're just acting slow.
He wasn't accepting blame for anything he said. Finally, appellant said that he expected to receive backlash once word got out. Now, backlash for causing a rift makes no sense, but backlash for shooting someone does. The evidence in this case was compelling. Turning to a few of the issues that have been highlighted here today, I'll start first with the Instagram post. This was appellant's verified account. And a few times today, I heard opposing counsel mention Brady, but Brady was never mentioned in appellant's opening brief or the reply brief. It can't be raised for the first time at oral argument. And frankly, it has no application here because the things that were turned over were inculpatory, not exculpatory. So when it comes to the Instagram posts, they were turned over upon realizing them, and there was no, many of the case, as you'll see in the respondent's brief, many of the claims that appellant raises are forfeited by a lack of objection at trial. And one of the things Your Honor asked is, did counsel ever ask for redaction? I don't see that anywhere in the record when it came to the Instagram posts. In fact, counsel didn't even object on the discovery basis. The objection was solely based on foundation. So discovery doesn't work for appellant on appeal. And as to foundation, the question really is whether or not there is an inference that can be drawn that a statement was made by a party. If so, it falls under the party opponent exception to the hearsay rule. Hours after the shooting.
Meaning that they tried to get the text, the Instagram post of him saying not Kelsey. They didn't even really try to get that taken out of evidence. It sounds like, what he was saying. But yeah, this is ridiculous. Like, this is ridiculous at this point. You fucking did it, dude. You did it. We know you did it. Like, take the L, admit it, and shut the fuck up. Like, this is ridiculous at this point. To me, this is ridiculous at this point. Somebody says, so what did Chelsea need immunity for? Just curious. Well, she got immunity, so I guess we wouldn't know. I believe there might have been some truth to her taking ownership of the weapon at some point, even if it wasn't originally hers. I don't think that that weapon was registered to anybody. So I think that the little leprechaun had a weapon he wasn't supposed to have. While the police were pulling, or coming to the scene or whatever, asking him to do shit, he asked her to take the gun. Her being the only person in the car that will probably be able to take it and not have any, you ain't got no charges, you ain't got no history. They're not going, y'all know how this go. In hood life, whoever has the least amount of time racked up, that's the person that takes the illegal weapon because they're not going to get as much time. I believe she's the one that took ownership of the weapon when the police got there. So when they had to ask her to come and testify, they had to give her immunity for the gun because they know that the gun wasn't really hers, but she took ownership for it when the police showed up. That's what I would assume. That's what I would assume. Whatever happened, I believe she, you could have been an accessory after the fact by assisting and moving and destroying the evidence, etc. That too. And that's why I'm saying, like, I think the whole gun thing might have been like, cleaning up shit after the fact. Like, it wasn't really yours, but maybe you the one that wiped it off. That's maybe why the DNA was inconclusive or some shit like that. Niggas that's always doing street shit know how to bring other people into it to make those people culpable in the crime, right? That's a part of it. In street, I don't know if people haven't watched enough television shows or movies about street life, but the best way to get away with things is to bring other people in on the crime, make them just as guilty, and that will normally keep them quiet because they will think that if I tell on that person, I'm telling on myself. So I'm not going to tell on that person, not to tell on myself. That is how most criminal-minded people are thinking when it comes to these situations. So I imagine the criminal, Tory Lanez, thinks, hey, bitch, you take the gun, wipe it off, put it in your bag. They're not going to perceive it the same from you that they would from me. And yes, that would be obstruction of justice. And she would have to get immunity for that. So it couldn't be used against her later on. That's what I would assume. Okay. And that's just because I watched a whole bunch of SVU. Dun. Okay. He never apologized. Yes, he did. He apologized. Like, are you not listening? Like, yeah, he did. He apologized for messing with both. No, he didn't. Why would you apologize just to Megan for messing with both of them at the same time? If the story was that Kelsey was the girlfriend and Megan was the one fucking him behind her friend back, the way y'all kept saying. That's not what happened. Somebody said, I'm starting to realize 50% of people have a smooth brain. Over half the comments saying he was apologizing for messing with Boat, yet he never apologized to Kelsey, which is the one they both went behind her back. On the cop cam, he was calling Megan his girlfriend and kept calling out to her because he was scared she was going to tell at that moment. Like, and another thing, in real life, in what fucking world would one star want to be with the assistant of another star? In what world? In what fucking world? Like, in real life, Tory Lanez is going to attach himself to Megan Thee Stallion because that is what is like entertaining to everybody. We love to see when artists hook up and get together, and that's what they were, I think, doing. I think they were actually trying to form a real friendship. Both of them had recently lost their moms. Like, there was some type of emotional enmeshment happening between the two of them. There also were pictures of them on the red carpet with Meg having her ass on Tory Lanez maybe the week before the shit happened. So I'm just like, why the fuck would anybody think that him and Kelsey was really in a relationship and then Megan is the one that backdoored her friend? And that's the story that a lot of you hoes ran with in order to make this man shooting her okay. And I don't like y'all for that. Just period. On God. Move on. Girl, somebody added me in this post. Okay, somebody said BondyBlue. So her acting slow is an act because Mrs. Super Senior got hella sense all of a sudden. Let's hear what Pretty V. Okay, I have called her Super Duper Senior. And I thought it was just a game, but then I told y'all about that story of her leaving that little bit of shit on B Simone's floor, and I just kind of felt like, what color toilet does B Simone have for you to look back and not see the shit? Do you not look back? Lack of self-awareness. You got a lack of self-awareness enough for shit to fly out your ass and you ain't look around to make sure everything was cool? Yeah.
We got to stop looking at why am I in this place? And, what's happening to me and how, why people don't like and care. So what? That was your choice. You need to move on. You need to ask God for strength in this season and peace and the capacity to do his will and his way. So what? That you're broke. Go get you a job. So what that you got money? ask God to maintain that, because there are seasons where you're up and you're down, you're here and you hot.
Why does she have the same cadence? Like, bitch, why do you sound like B. Simone while you're saying this to me? Also, why recently, I'm telling y'all, I think B. Simone is in religious psychosis, which is why I don't even want to hear Pretty V telling her to trust in him and all of that. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all know how I feel whenever y'all start just saying religious quotes and shit that I feel like don't really have a real mechanism behind them.
And you know,
Y'all know that irks me. I'm sorry.
what if you got some haters? So what that you're creative? So what that you're mad? So what that you're happy?
I don't know. I don't know why everybody acting like she said a word. All she said was the same thing Sierra said in that one song. So what? No. And I heard that was a terrible song too. That was basically telling women to ignore men's track records because so what? So what is never good advice. Bitch, I'm sorry. So what is never good advice. I know somebody thought that she had sense today, but I'm sorry, August. No, she does not. Now that I've actually listened to what she said, I don't know if this was meant for B. Simone or not, but what do you mean, so what? The fuck you mean, so what? Get over it. Okay, bitch, how? Talk to me. How do I get over it? How? Talk to me. Because saying believe in him, that's not a practical thing. I need for you to lay down A, B, and C of what you and your God meant when y'all said that shit. In practical life, what should I do? Y'all got to stop letting the cadence in which people speak make y'all believe they saying some smart shit. Actually break down the wordage here. Because if you coming up here to reprimand B. Simone, I'm really going to need for you not to be trying to sell me the same Jesus juice that bitch is drinking, talking about, so what? What do you mean, so what? Ooh, girl. That's what I'm saying. How do we know it was directed towards B. Simone? Because I don't know. Maybe this was just messy. Because y'all know social media love to be messy. But somebody sent me that. This is old, but somebody sent it to me. I guess they wanted me to think that this meant B. Simone that Pretty V wasn't a super duper senior. Girl, that proves nothing to me. Still a super duper senior. We fall down, but we get up, and you couldn't see that shit on the floor. Let's get into other people. Consequence. What's going on with Consequence? Okay, listen.
I'm outside. Anybody got anything to say to me? You could take your brother out the pulpit. Find me in the streets. One.
So I guess that's it.
This summer we didn't have a song of the summer.
I've been seeing a meme.
This nigga just wanted to be a meme. He just wanted to be a meme. We all want to be a what? See me in the streets. Get your brother out the pulpit. I'm out here. Like nigga just walked up. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Consequence wants, like, you know how you can imagine a nigga is a music video in his mind? That's Consequence. Consequence is a music video in a movie. Okay, it's all in his mind. He's walking to a beat.
It's been hard.
And one of the reasons why we didn't have a song of the summer is because the soundbite of the summer was I Don't Respect Kanye as a Man, performed by Pusha T and his brother Malice. What I have in my phone.
And I know you don't like that because y'all know Consequence is Kanye. There are groups of niggas that I feel like wanted to be like Kanye, and Consequence is one of them niggas. Like, even though Consequence, I believe, has been in the game longer than Kanye, it is something about them that they are alike, and I believe Consequence sees himself in Kanye. Kanye doesn't see himself in any black dude.
There's a group chat between myself, Ye, and Pusha, and it was initiated right after the release of Donda.
And Ye says, in the diss record to Drake, you still not 100% in the right with me, even though he should not have spoke on your wife. You not perfect either. The record still caused me mental harm. That meant when you shot. You hit me and my family also. We have to protect my brain at all costs because I have the vision. It's accountability. You're not wrong, but you're not 100% right either. And then Pusha replies, I agree. I'm not perfect. I never learned how to turn the other cheek when disrespected. It's how I was raised. Martin Luther King wasn't respected in my house either. Hurting you or your family wasn't my intention. Protecting my family and the brand, that was the only mission. Sorry for any trauma caused by me.
Right. He apologized for basically dragging Kanye into the beef with Drake.
Right.
If you're willing to apologize to someone, that would mean that you respect them, right?
Or just as a man, he felt like, let me just...
If you're running a whole rollout based on...
See, men tend to think in absolutes that don't make sense, right? I think the thought process here is that I have to respect you in order to apologize to you. That's not necessarily true. Because what does respect mean to you? Y'all don't respect people that y'all have nothing to gain from. You don't respect people who you feel like are beneath you, but you really should be respecting everybody that you come into contact with that respects you. Or at least offer it as a way of how you show respect for yourself is to respect other people. That's how I imagine it. And so when people say shit like this, like what he just said, it lets me know that you feel like in order to respect someone, they have to be above you or on the same level as you, which means the women that are under you, the children that are under you, poor people who you consider under you, you know, the man on the street begging you, like you won't consider those people deserving of respect. That's what that thought process told me, like about consequence. And I don't like that. I don't like that way of thinking. You don't have to necessarily respect somebody in order to apologize to them if you feel like you want to apologize for hurting them or saying some shit. I apologize for that. Of course, there's a level of respect, but what the fuck does that mean? Let's let them continue. I just had to stop because I be paying attention to the shit that people say.
Not respecting someone, and you're a man, but you already apologized to this man. Then are you being honest with your base? Is this a real feeling, or is it?
So are you saying that just because he apologized at one point that he could not get reignited in his anger towards this nigga? Is that the assumption that because I apologized to you at one point, I can never again have an issue with you thereafter? Is that the rationale consequence?
This contrived for marketing. And another thing I want to point out is that he said Martin Luther King wasn't respected in his household. Isn't malice engulfed in the same scripture as Martin Luther King? I'm outside.
What do you mean? What does that mean? What scripture is Martin Luther King? And nigga, that didn't even make any sense. What are you trying to say here?
Anybody got anything to say to me? You can take your brother out the pulpit.
Hmm.
You find me in the streets. One.
So
Okay,
I guess
Kanye.
that's it.
This summer.
Okay, Kanye. To me, it sounds like you arguing on behalf of Kanye because you dick ride for that nigga. That's what it seemed like to me. And also, a lot of people didn't respect Martin Luther King back in the day. Martin Luther King had a lot of adversaries, like people who did not like him in the black community because they felt like on some level he was letting them white people use him. And there is no such thing as continuing to turn the cheek to someone that is invested in you being subjugated. Martin Luther King, before he passed away, said some real shit about how he feared he had led his people down the wrong path. Like, let's be fucking for real. This is light skin is the right skin. So get next to your white friend or whatever the fuck that was that nigga said. Yeah, he's that nigga. To me, he is like one of the quintessential, given Islam, black, Israelite, Hebrew, misogynistic, low-key, completely full of themselves, not low-key, completely full of themselves, just assholes. Like on some level, not really good people. They objectify everybody around them. They're really highly insecure, masquerading in stoicism. Yeah, it's a lot of shit I could say about niggas like this. But mostly them niggas need therapy, a hug, and a motherfucking breath mint. And they don't need a hug from a woman. Okay? They need a hug from the nigga that disappointed them. Good evening. All right, let's move on. Y'all. So Jason Lee's 5th annual Hollywood Unlocked Impact Award. I talked about this on Threads and in my members only yesterday. I'm starting to feel like the reason why, and this is just me personally, I haven't been into award shows for a while, but I'm starting to feel like the feelings we used to have around award shows back in the day, especially Black ones, was this feeling of all of these amazing Black people being in the same room and us really loving what that looks like, right? When Whitney's in a room, you know what I'm saying? When Patty's in a room, when Aretha's in a room, where, you know, what's my boy name? Why am I spacing and I'm seeing this man's face in my head right now? Quincy Jones. You know what I'm saying? The Quincy Jones era of people. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a time when watching award shows used to really Luther. Yes, come on, give me people. All right. There used to be a time like it's just a sweet spot in the 90s where in the early 2000s, 90s into the early 2000s, like around the time where you got your Monique and Beyonce moments at the BET Awards. Like that was around the time that this was still happening, early 2000s. But like after that, the award show allure has lessened and lessened and lessened. And in the Black community, I think one of the reasons is because we can see y'all niggas now. And we couldn't see y'all before. We couldn't see the abuse that might have been taking place. We couldn't see the trafficking that might have been taking place. We couldn't see the malfeasance in office that might have been taking place. Like there were, you know, we see the shady moments between Patty and Aretha, or, you know, a shady moment of Whitney Houston in the audience looking around like, who the fuck's they talking about singing? That ain't nobody in there singing. Okay. Yeah, Smokey Robinson. Now we can see these niggas. Now we know that Smokey Robinson probably got his hand in somebody's fucking cookie jar. Like we refused to believe bad things about Black people back then. And I think that's the reason why we were able to live in such delusion and enjoy award shows the way we did. But now we can see you niggas. We can see the toxic relationship that has to be taking place between Megan Good and Jonathan Majors. Like we're seeing how I was right and you niggas should have never elected no goddamn Jason Lee to no public office. But y'all did anyway. And now he is allegedly, possibly doing, you know, inappropriate, maybe illegal shit in office. He ain't even been in office for a whole year yet. He got in his last time when Trump did. And I told everybody, I don't know what y'all thinking. Reality show people do not make good politicians. Actors, for the most part, do not make good politicians. Politicians need to be people that went to school for some type of law. And I don't know why that's not a law. Just like when you become a fucking doctor. I'm sorry, y'all. I do not believe that the average Joe should be able to become a fucking senator. I don't. I want y'all to get past thinking that just a regular person's going to do the job. No, a regular person is not going to do the fucking job. I need a person that's been studying law. I need people that studied history. I need people that know the cycles of how governments and civilizations have worked over the past hundreds of years and shit. There's a whole bunch of books that will tell you about how not to run a country based on the shit that happened to other countries in previous years. You will learn not to create the same issues and make the same mistakes over and over again if anybody would pick up a fucking book and read anything. But no, y'all want to believe that politicians should be the average person. So y'all elect niggas like Trump, Ronald Reagan, Jason Lee. Y'all, you know, a lot of these politicians that are really implants, not real people. They're not real people, y'all. them evangelists, them the Mormon people that been raising them robot fucking kids and shit, homeschooling them while everybody else was going to regular schools. They was getting homeschooled and shit, being taught crazy shit by their parents, and now they're elected officials over entire states and cities of people. It's insane what's happening right now, and it is because so many people are in love with anti-intellectualism for fear of being left out of being smart, when the truth of the matter is being smart is something you seek. It's just merely information. Seeking to find the truth, I believe, is what makes one smart. You can be smart in a plethora of things. Nobody needs to all be smart in the same shit. But anti-intellectualism is why y'all want so badly to put people that should not be in certain offices in office, because you think a regular person is going to understand something that those people don't understand. I'm sorry, I had to speak on that. But either way, so we have moments like this, right? Where you have...
Please join us in celebrating the 2025 Social Impact Award honoree, Don Lemon.
Okay, so y'all trying to turn this into something. Turn this into something. We're awarding Don Lemon for social impact, right? In one. And then in another.
It is my absolute honor and joy to present the Hollywood Unlocked Impact Award for Spirits to my little sis, to our superstar, the one and only Kiki Palmer.
So Johnny's girl over here giving an award to crazy light-skinned Darius baby mama. See, I feel like shit like this is intentional. I feel like Hollywood Unlocked people are fucking messy. And y'all know what it looks like for two battered women to be hugging each other and uplifting each other in being battered women. Because that's what this feels like. We don't have any real evidence, y'all, that these women are battered women besides Darius and that whole thing that happened with her and this woman's husband and what happened with him and that last woman. And now she got a tattoo of this nigga stumping through court, like, you know, trying to create businesses with him, like just firmly attaching herself to him. I feel like all of that look unhealthy to me on some level. I know we don't know for a fact, but I get tired of y'all thinking that just because people are showing up and showing y'all what looks like love, that you ignore all of these other things that show you that these people are probably in toxic, unhealthy relationships based on who they fucking are. So, you know, I think this was messy to have one giving the other an award.
Megan, girl. Thank you guys so much. But Megan, there couldn't have been anyone else to give me this award tonight. You have been an inspiration to me since I was a child.
I'm sure she means in acting.
Looking up to you and seeing you as a person to just represent and aspire to be has been everything I've needed and more. I just hope you always know how much you mean to the young woman like myself.
I have to click off because the truth of the matter is, yes, the duality of life is that you will inspire women who want to be actresses, who want to be beautiful bombshells, whatever. You will inspire women that want to have a cute style and are petite and, you know, love them a natural look. Like, yeah, you will inspire that group of women, but you will also inspire them to be in toxic relationships with men who have bad past. Y'all always forget about that part as if that's not also being, you know, infused with the image that you are eating up. Yeah. Both of them are starting to look the same to me. And that's really, really sad. Another thing about the award show, and it's not in this clip, but Zeus Network head Lemuel was all up and through the clips. And I don't know what's going on over there at Zeus Network. I won't pretend like I know for sure what's going on over there at Zeus Network. But the energy of it feels like a large lawsuit in the future. Like a large, if this company like it's giving pharmaceutical company after it did its work, if you ever experienced anything from baddies and you have a story to tell, come to us. We want to defend you and tell your story. Listen, there are going to be documentaries. There are going to be behind the scenes. There are going to be lawsuits and conversations for the foreseeable future as it pertains to the phenomenon of Zeus Network and how it is basically given us, what do they call it? Gladiator fights. It's like hood girl gladiator fights in reality TV shows, basically. And so I feel like this is something historically that we've always liked as humans, the barbaricness of watching people fight and rip each other apart. And I don't know when this happens, but I feel like I'll kind of want to look into it. It has to be a maturation of the brain. But like at one point in life, like watching people fight used to be fun. And then at some point, watching them fight became something hard to watch. Like, why? Yeah, I don't want to watch this. Then like the energy of it, y'all, like maybe because I know a lot of people still watch these shows. This is not a judgment on anybody, okay? I want y'all to know, like, if you still enjoy this type of shit, I'm not judging you, but I'm just talking about my personal experience from enjoying watching fight videos sometimes to like now getting to a point where it's like, I don't want my nerves bad like that. I don't want to watch y'all bully people. I don't want to watch y'all argue about dumb shit and turn it into, a WWE match. Like, and to me, and I was never even into WWE. My cousins were, people around me were. I was never into that because I don't really like watching people be brutalized. Like, that's not really fun for me. But I did used to enjoy Jerry Springer. Like, we were at Jerry. Like, but that was also like emotional and relational. That made more sense to me. But the way the girls on baddies and them just be fighting each other for like y'all have known each other for 2 fucking minutes. And now both of y'all's wigs are peeled back and your titty is hanging out. And, we've seen the crack of your ass because y'all wanted to fight because somebody looked at you funny or somebody said something stupid on social media or somebody unfollowed or somebody blocked. It's just, I don't know. But this is what I will say. For those of you that still enjoy like Zeus Network and those types of shows, as long as at some point you are watching something that is in exact opposition of that, meaning that even if you're not watching something that's educational or wholesome, I need for you to go read a book. Like I need for you to do something to offset that. Because to me, back in the day, that was the only way we kind of were full human beings, I feel like, is that we had this like Jerry Springer shit, but we also had like Family Matters. And y'all know the power of music that makes you feel bad about yourself. Like the power of the music played at the end of a scene that's about to teach you a life lesson about how not to be a fat phobic racist bully. Like y'all don't have that anymore. Ain't nobody telling y'all that it's fucked up via TV show for you to be making fun of and saying terrible shit to the fat girl at school. Like y'all don't have that no more, man. Yeah. So I'm going to throw out there as a practical way to help people out. Every time you watch one of these fucked up ass shows, I need you to go and do something smarter. Yes. Enjoy it. Have at it, girl. But after that, go read some shit. Go touch some grass. Go do something in direct opposition of what you just finished watching. Okay? I would you know what I would do, girl? I would watch Zeus. And then I might go watch an episode of Abbott Elementary. Boom. There you go. Balance this shit out. Go watch Abbott Elementary. Matter of fact, bitch, go on Hulu and watch Family Matters. It's still up there. People are so sensitive these days. The TV people are not trying to tell people how to live their life. People are not more sensitive now than they were before. I don't know where y'all get that from. And nobody said that the people on the shows are telling people how to live their life. We're talking about how media period affects the people that are watching it. So like, for instance, of course, on Family Matters or on A Different World, nobody is telling you directly, don't be fat phobic, don't be racist. No, but they create a story that makes you feel like you should be a better person because it feels bad. That's how media storytelling, that's how it works, right? So you do understand you're watching something, la da da da. The back of your mind is soaking in what you're watching. People don't have to tell you how to live in order for how they're living to affect you, right? It's called desensitizing. Like, if you're always watching violent shit, you're gonna be desensitized to violent shit. I can't even watch murder documentaries the same anymore. But girl, I can't watch that shit the same no more either. I'm like, okay, I watched that. Now I need to go watch the Golden Girls or some shit to lighten it up. I need that music in between on the Golden Girls. Like, bitch, I need to, okay, so many sociopaths, men and women. And that's another thing. This whole like anti-sensitivity thing, I need for y'all to understand, like, human beings are sensitive. You can lie about being sensitive, but human beings are sensitive, right? So you could say, I'm not sensitive, and we can go through a plethora of topics, and we're going to be able to find a topic where you're going to be sensitive. So the concept of, oh, we're now too sensitive. No, I just finished saying that in the 90s, there was a balance of content, right? There was sensitive content. There was content that was teaching y'all to have morals and shit. They don't have that now. People are not more sensitive now than they were before. Y'all are just seeing people talking more now than y'all were before. That's another thing. Social media is now bringing people's opinions to your face in a way that it never did before. Things are not happening more now than back then when it comes to how humans emote. Humans have always had feelings. That's what makes us humans. We feel shit. If we're not feeling anything, we're dead. I don't know if we've peeped that. I know we have a society that makes it cool to not have feelings and to be unbothered. But I also feel like, again, as you mature, there should be like this understanding of, no, feelings are necessary. It's the same thing as a body part. If I can't feel my arm and my arm catch on fire, big mama, your arm. Okay, imagine my whole fucking arm going up in flames, but I couldn't feel it when the heat was hitting me right here. So now the whole fucking arm is fucked up because I could not feel when the heat was touching my skin. That's why being sensitive is important. Physical feelings mirror emotional feelings. Okay? It's never a good thing for you to be numb because you don't know what's happening around you if you're numb. You're not taking a real scope if you're numb. And I know we like to numb ourselves because feeling too much is a lot. It is. But as soon as you could figure out how to feel your feelings and then let them go, the better off you will be. When you keep your feelings behind an invisible wall, your feelings just kind of start to break the wall down. As soon as you actually talk about things and think about why you feel the way you feel, it will help you to dismantle the pressure. Okay? But yeah. People don't like to be vulnerable. They don't. And you don't be vulnerable with everybody. You know what I'm saying? But you need to be vulnerable with yourself. You need to be real enough to sit with yourself and say, I feel like this. I feel like that. Oh, thank you. Thank you, girl. I know, girl, listen, the locks are locking. But yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I go on my tangents, but sometimes y'all know what this be. This be therapy, bitch. Okay, listen, I'm not licensed. Don't take what I say to heart.
Hold on, let me address something real quick. So I seen today where some food critics, right? they get their ass knocked across the room because a truck ran into the restaurant, right? I go to this whole page, this whole time, thank you to the universe and her dead puppy, because her puppy is now an angel for saving her. The way y'all motherfuckers play with God, bro, this won't be your last time having a brush with death, my love. And we already know you're not thankful, because ain't no way in the fuck a dead puppy gonna be an angel. And if he is an angel, who he an angel to? Who made him an angel? Y'all motherfuckers is weird, and y'all need to be seen about.
I love conversations like this because this is how a lot of people look. Like in real life, you will not find like, yo, what is Christianity supposed to be teaching? Hold up. What are values of Christianity? Let's go through the values of Christianity. Love. The central tenet of Christianity encompassing love for God, love for one another, and extending love even to enemies. That's the first tenet of being a Christian. Do we feel like Tommy fits that? No. Let's continue. Compassion. Empathy and concern for the suffering of others, motivating acts of kindness and service. Do we feel like this is coming off as compassionate right now? I think the fuck not. Moving on, forgiveness, extending pardon and reconciliation, mirroring God's forgiveness of humanity. None of what you just said about this lady, including taking your prayer back on her life. Yeah, I definitely feel like none of that feels like you are a forgiving person, but I bet you require a lot of people to ignore how you fuck over them all the time. Integrity. Honesty, truthfulness, and moral uprightness in all aspects of life. If you feel like Tommy Lee has integrity, you do not know what the word integrity means. We watched that lady lie about not drinking and not having any types of addictions, and then also watched her act a complete and utter fucking fool every time we see her on social media. It's not giving integral at all. Justice, seeking fairness and righteousness, working towards a world where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. There's nothing about the baddies girls that makes me feel like they want justice and respect for everybody. Humility, recognizing one's dependence on God, avoiding pride. I would say that you had that one, but you really don't, because the humility is not really humility. Like, you're not really humble, but you do use God as a way to virtue signal to other people, right? Meaning that you're better than other people because you believe that God has his good eye on you and he's protecting you because God has favorites. That's what y'all think. Hope, faith in God's promises. And yes, I do believe a lot of y'all are delusional. You can call hope delusion. In some aspect, I do believe she has that one. Peace. I'm not even going to read that. I do not feel like Tommy Lee has peace. Self-control. I do not feel like she has self-control. Gratitude. I do believe she thanks God for all of the things her pussy popping and fighting has gotten her. Generosity. I don't know. I've seen her do generous things, but I also feel like her spirit does not give generous. Either way, we'll give that a toss up. We'll say 0.5 point for generosity, depending on how much you giving to the folks out here in the world. But outside of that, y'all, the only thing she really had was humility and hope. That's all she had was humility and hope. We don't think she has any compassion, forgiveness, integrity, justice. We don't think she have any self-control. Oh, and she has gratitude. She has gratitude. So the tenets of the religion that she believes everybody should be believing in, she doesn't even have. And that's what I notice a lot about people that get up here and get mad at people when they say the universe. Why you just can't say God? Why do you give a fuck? When people say the universe, they're talking about everything in tandem. And also because people don't believe in the same God. Even Christians don't believe in the same God. White people believe in a different God than black people. They may not call it that, but that's what happens because black people need a different God than white people. Black people need the last to be first and the first to be last. White people need for God to keep choosing them as a favorite and making sure that their dominance, continues throughout the time. Like, universe is it's all encompassing. It's not without, it's everything. It's God, what we imagine of is God, and all the things working in tandem for God's will. And we're talking about God that may not be a he, God that may not be a him, God that may not be Jesus. And y'all care so much about those specific things, but you miss the fucking allegory every time. You miss the story. You miss the point every single time. And it's so crazy to me. It's so crazy to watch people who I feel like have no God in them. And, it reminds me of a story that somebody told on TikTok. I don't know if y'all ever read the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe books. Did y'all ever read the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe books when y'all were kids? I did. I don't think I finished it, but I definitely think I read like the first two books of that series, right? And then y'all know they had movies, so we saw movies and stuff for the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. But at the end of it, y'all know Aslan was supposed to be like the analogy for Jesus. So everybody's fighting for Aslan. The other God, who everybody, there's another God. I forgot that God's name, but that was like, the opposition. The opposition lost. Aslan won. So a warrior for the opposition gets to Aslan's heaven. And the man who's thinking, yes, Narnia. The warrior is thinking that he's about to go to hell. But Aslan says, I'm going to take everything that you did, all of your deeds that you did for that God, I'm going to take it and apply it to me. And it was because of the tenets that he kept. It wasn't about who you were being a warrior to. It was about the tenets that you kept in being a warrior. And I think a lot of people miss that. It's not about, I don't think God will actually care about which God you chose to call on. If you kept the tenets, if you kept the value system right, meaning that I don't necessarily need to call on Jesus like some of y'all do in order to be a good person to people. I will just be a good person because I treat people how I want to be treated. I feel like if I got to heaven, God would be like, you did what you were supposed to do anyway, whether you knew it through me or somebody else. I just wanted you to be like this, and you were like this, regardless of who it was for, who you got the story through. I wanted you to be a good person, and you found a way to being a good person. So that's all that matters to me. When I heard about that version, that part of the book, I was like, damn, that's really good. That's really, really good. And I feel like that's why it's so important to care more about the value system, the tenets, than to care about the figures in the story. Because what most people end up doing is worshiping an entity and not the value system that the entity was promoting. And that's the problem that a lot of people have with religion. And that is why people say the universe, because they do not want to be tied down to a God that some people view as a God, and then other people view their God as a devil. Because that's a part of the Bible as well, that y'all will think that somebody is God and they will actually be the devil. And I feel like that's based on the value system. If you think it's okay to mistreat people, to enslave people, to harm people, to unalive people, to rape people, if you think those things are okay as long as you're doing it for a certain God, then your God is the devil, my nigga. All of that hate that y'all think God wants y'all to have, that's the devil, and you just don't know it. So yeah, no, that's why a lot of the times I would also be somebody that would say the universe, right? Because I do not want my spiritual practice to be aligned with people who I believe are really worshiping the devil and claiming that they're worshiping God. But a part of Revelations, they talk about that. Y'all will receive somebody and y'all will think that this is the Son of God. Y'all will think that this is God, and it will actually be the devil. Yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. That's what they said.
I got some people that I feel like deserve to be here, that deserve to be living, who it just don't seem like it's time, not questioning God or whatever.
So because these people almost died but didn't, and didn't thank your deity, you feel like they deserve to die, and the people that you want to be alive should come back. You're in religious psychosis and something is wrong with you.
I just feel like certain people deserve to still be living. And then you get people like that who get a clear, you get what I'm saying? Just a clear blessing. And you just sitting up here talking about thank you to a fucking puppy.
First of all, when my dad died, any type of protection that I felt I had walking around in a very crazy city, I would attribute to the fact that my dad was protective of me in real life and now is a spirit, so would doubly protect me in real life. That doesn't equate my father's spirit to God, but it does feel like in tandem. It feels like adding on to. So I'm going to tell y'all right now, please don't play about my fucking dog. If I say that my dog was looking out for me, then bitch, my dog was looking out for me.
Then you don't want to say God.
I also be believing sometimes that, you know, whatever spirit is inside of a dog might have been inside of a human in another life. Like I do believe. Listen, I feel like energy is never destroyed, merely transferred.
God so bad, you say thank you to the universe. Well, who made the universe, love? Who made the universe? If you think your puppy's an angel, who is your puppy an angel to, love? Is he an angel to this universe that you speak of? He an angel to the universe? Again, my question is...
She right, thanking everybody but everybody. I think they meant everybody but the creator. And I just kind of feel like it's very weird when y'all take it personal, the way people choose to spiritualize their talk. I think it's very weird. I don't even really want to listen to the rest of what she's saying, because I think that Tommy has a demonic spirit. If I'm being real, based on what I have seen of her, I feel like this woman has a chaotic, dark energy about her. And I really don't want to see any judgment on anybody's spiritual practice from somebody who I believe is, you know, a personification of somebody that is in a dark spirit. Like, I was just reading it, y'all. They were saying they're beyond grateful. And at the end, they said, thankful to the universe and our angel pup Loyal, who passed in November 2024 and protected us from above. Obviously, like, like, y'all, it's really not that serious. It's really like these people can say, I want to thank the universe. They can say that. Are you okay? Like the way Black people have adopted some of the same mentalities of the very people that oppressed you, which is your want and need to shame people into having the same spiritual practice is you. That's weird. Not was it God the way she handled her daughter at that school. No, it was God when they called CPS on your ass. That was God. That was God. Let's move on. So y'all, Kelly Farrell, ex-husband, sits down with Tasha K. Let's see what the weird shape head ass nigga has to say.
You are here, not that you want to be here, okay? But you're having to come out and clear your name. Mm-hmm. You are the ex-husband to Kelly Farrell. Correct. Season 16's newest Real Housewife of Atlanta, okay? And interesting enough, you guys like have a court order. You're not even supposed to be talking about your marriage or divorce or anything.
It's a gag order that we're not supposed to be talking about it.
Now we're going to talk about like, how did you get here? Because you done lost everything. You lost the marriage. How the hell did you go from $2 million a year to you're trying to pay child support and can't pay it because money is being frozen and held?
For all this, everything I'm telling you right now happened before the divorce. Everything happened before the divorce.
Was there any marital issues between you two? Like, were there any infidelities
No,
that you
absolutely
know
not.
of?
No abuse, no infidelity, nothing like that. All that stuff I'm hearing she's saying on TV is for ratings.
Like what?
I heard she said I was abusive, lies. Infidelity, lies.
How does this happen?
That's right. It's against the law what happened. She said she went on national TV and said I was gonna kill her, right? And I didn't say that. When they was handcuffing me, I was walking out the courtroom and I said, I got you. I said, it's messed up. I was telling her and her family, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I said, I was a very private person. I was nowhere on social media. I wasn't on Google, none of that. And because of this show, my life is destroyed.
So, you are here.
All right. So he said that Kelly lied on him, and it's all a lie. It's all a lie. Let's see. I just wanted to see were there any like actual stories that came out about Kelly. Let's see. What's this say? Amazing Grace. Okay. Shavalo Mark Farrell, the ex-husband of Kelly Farrell, a newcomer on Real Housewives of Atlanta, has issued a cease and desist order to Bravo Media. The legal action demands an immediate halt to what he calls defamatory portrayals on the show that harmed his reputation. Mark Farrell claims that false allegations of financial misconduct and threats have been aired. He seeks public clarification, blah, blah, blah. Okay. She said he got arrested. Let's see. That's what it said. It said that he got arrested when they went to court. And I feel like, thrown in jail, contempt of court. Let's go to the full story. I want to, it was deleted. Okay. The full story is not there anymore, girl. I wonder where it went. So this makes me believe that maybe somebody did some internet scrubbing, because I think that's something that people are doing a lot now, like scrubbing the internet of actual news articles and things that would actually like tell us about any of this shit. However, I will say this. I am not running to believe this man because men lie. Men lie about abuse every day, B. And they are more socialized to be abusive in situations when it comes to marriage, like they are. That's usually, the case. Okay. I'm just saying, like, it's more usual than you would think. Let's see. According to court documents obtained by U.S., Kelly 40 asked the court not to approve a repayment plan proposed by Shavalo because apparently they were fighting over an alleged $700,000 that was owed. She said the plan was submitted in bad faith. The Bravo star claimed her ex put the wrong address on his paperwork. Kelly said the address was a UPS store. She claimed he had intentionally attempted to deceive the creditors, including her. Shavalo does not reside at a UPS mailing address, but instead is living free of charge at the residence of his friend, she alleged. She said the repayment plan failed to disclose certain judgments Shavalo allegedly owes Kelly. She said he was ordered to pay $770,000 in a lawsuit over a chicken and waffles restaurant they ran while married. The Real Housewives of Atlanta star also accused her ex-husband of being delinquent on child support payments due after he filed for bankruptcy. She said he had failed to make any child support payments since January. In her filing, Kelly also believed her ex had understated his gross monthly income of $8,616. She said his monthly income was listed as $19,847 at their divorce trial. It definitely sounds like in this interview with Tasha that he is misrepresenting his income. Clearly, Shavalo is attempting to hide how much money he makes so he would not have to repay as much of his debts. And the Shavalos proposed plan payments does not apply. The entirety of his income is left over after necessary living expenses and other financial obligations. Kelly's lawyer argued furthermore, Shavalo clearly overstated his monthly living expenses and thereby depressing his available disposable income that is available to repay his debts. The court has yet to rule on Kelly's request. A rep for Schiavalo tells us that he has fully complied with all court requirements under federal bankruptcy law. They noted the court accepted his conversion to Chapter 7 bankruptcy, an option available to individuals facing legitimate financial hardship, following the court-ordered transfer on his business, his home, and his primary income source. So, yeah, there's definitely giving some I'm hiding my fucking money shit going on. The rep said that while Schiavalo continued to take accountability for his obligations, his ability to meet those obligations has been severely hindered by actions taken during and after the divorce. What? He claimed $74,000 from the sale of their home was wrongfully withheld. Don't you owe her $770,000? The rep claimed the funds could have been applied to outstanding child support, but were held for over a year and only recently sent to the court, where they remain in escrow. Schiavalo's rep claimed her client had offered to pay half of the $74K in the account to Kelly to resolve back child support. She refused the offer. We believe this refusal is strategic, designed to preserve a storyline rather than resolve real issues. You would still owe $700,000 though, son. You would still owe her a severe amount of money. Kelly has disregarded the divorce decree and remains in contempt of the visitation order. In regard to the alleged $770,000 judgment, the rep said it is simply not valid, and Schiavalo is taking the. How is it not valid if the court ordered it? Yeah, this is all very confusing. This is all very, very confusing. But I do feel like that nigga look like he is making things confusing. Let's see. Schiavalo said he remains in regular contact with his kids and continues to support them in every way he can. In response to Schiavalo's rep, the court has mandated and stamped the relevant orders. Schiavalo is required to pay the money he owes, including outstanding child support. The $74,000 he references remains in the court's escrow account until all parties are rightfully paid. There is no storyline here, only facts. The divorce is final. Had Schiavalo fulfilled his legal obligations, this matter would have been resolved long ago. So I guess they meant long ago or a long time ago. We remain committed to moving on. Blah, 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 blah. He filed for Chapter 13 bankruptcy on January 31st. He listed assets totaling $214,000 and liabilities in the amount of $383,000. He said his monthly income was $8,600 and his monthly expenses came out to $8,200. Schiavalo said he owned $17,700 in domestic support obligations. His petition listed his assets as a Mercedes worth $42,000, a BMW worth $90,000, a Nissan worth $4,200. Other assets included $2,000 household goods, $500, and blah, blah, blah. Schiavalo said he had no money in his wallet or at home. He listed a retirement account with $0. He said $75,000 was being held in an account by Kelly's attorney. His liabilities, okay, so here's the thing for me. What happened to the job? To me, it sounds like he is moving his money around so that he can go to court and say, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this. But the truth of the matter is, how were you making money before? And now because I don't think he was solely making money from their restaurants. So that makes me feel like, did you quit your job? Or are you not working anymore? Like, why are you not bringing in any money anymore? You couldn't have been solely making money off of y'all's restaurant businesses. Like that, like I would only assume that he was making money elsewhere and is now hiding that money and trying to pretend to be broke so he doesn't have to pay her. That's what it feels like to me. Because what are you talking about? How did you go from being somebody that was making $19,000 a month to now you're only making $8,000 a month? How did that happen? I don't know. Like, would you have been making $8,000? I mean, would you have been making the remaining amount of money, which was what, $11,000? Would you have been making $11,000 from her restaurant every month? Like, I don't know. This is all very confusing. But what it gives is you're trying to get out of having to pay for all of them kids. You're trying to have to get out of splitting assets. And I think I've seen that more often than not. Men really feel like even though they were married, they think everything is theirs. And so once the women break up with them, anything that really was supposed to be community property because y'all were a family in a household is now just his. And he's going to do everything to make sure that you don't get any of that, even though legally, as a wife, you are entitled to it. Listen, niggas that don't have nothing for real, they got a few dollars here and there, but they ain't got no fucking money like that. Them niggas will be trying to hide everything so that they don't have to pay child support. Nickel and diamond, everything. Speaking of Kelly, we'll see how that all plays out. I'm sure more clips will come out from that interview. But girl, apparently K. Michelle might actually be on Real Housewives of Atlanta, seen here in the picture with Portia and Kelly. I'm gonna tell y'all this. Portia and K. Michelle are giving low-key Jocelyn and K. Michelle Love and Hip Hop, right? They're gonna try to be cool. Portia is Queen Bee, so she's gonna try to be cool with K. Michelle out of respect for who K. Michelle is. But ultimately, she's not gonna be able to hold up that mask for too long. And eventually, K. Michelle and her will be going back and forth. That's what I'm assuming. And I feel like K. Michelle might have had a scene with Carly Red, and that's why everybody thinks Carly Red is on the show. But I don't think it's Carly Red. Please don't let it be Carly Red. That don't make no fucking sense. It would make more sense for y'all to bring K. Michelle on the show. But I feel like, and I told the ladies this in the DMs, K. Michelle and Portia are either gonna fight and fuck and fight, or both. They gonna fuck a fight, like it's gonna start out as a fuck and then gonna be a fight, or they gonna, they gonna just fight, or they gonna just fuck, or they gonna do both. I don't know. But I do know that K. Michelle does like the, dip in the lady pond, and so does Portia. And this was so interesting, y'all. Another thing that Dominique Morgan was talking about on her live when I was over there on TikTok was how she doesn't think that women being DL is a real thing because women don't have to be DL. And I'm like, tell the women that. Tell the women that, because they don't believe that. I've actually, I've had to deal with this in real life. I did not know. I didn't know that women were still like DL 30s and above. Grown women, kids, you know what I'm saying? May have been married, may have not been married, but you're a grown woman, right? You're like 30 something years old. You will have sexual relationships with women and hide it from everybody in your family because you don't want them judging you. You don't want them to say anything bad about you, especially if y'all grew up in a church, centered family. Women are still DL because it is expected of women to do everything for men. Yes, lesbians get heavily criticized. And let's not even talk about the way people infringe on boundaries in those. Like, if you see two women together, you then all of a sudden feel like you can start asking them all types of weird ass questions and shit. But to me, women can play like they like each other sexually as long as it's for the benefit of a male gaze. But actually wanting to be in real relationships with women, no. Women can do the, I just played and, I might have got drunk and kitty clicked, but, I could never really want to be with a woman because I need dick. Like, that is still an acceptable DL way of thinking. Just like men will not put on condoms to go have sex with, men and then act like, I'm not gay. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I really don't want to have no relationship. I just want to go and fuck them from time to time. Yeah, it is. It's the same without the same fear. Like, men are afraid of being unalived if somebody finds out they're gay. Even though people do unalive women, they do for being gay. They absolutely do. They chase women down, let a woman be masculine. Men will feel, men are like, there's a challenge on TikTok with men wanting to body slam studs. Men are very violent towards studs. Any type of woman that is masked, those men automatically want to prove you not a man, as if mass presenting women don't know they're not men. That's why, like, I know a lot of mass presenting women that pour a lot of sugar when they deal with men, especially if they're from the South. They know how you doing? All right. Like they know how to soften up the voice. They know how to play into the fact that a man needs to perceive you as some type of feminine in order to not see you as a threat. Because men will see you as a threat if they feel like you are masculine in any way. If they feel they already in competition with you. But if they feel like you in competition for coochie, they especially get upset about that. Coochie they was never going to get. They real mad is then walked into a room with another coochie. So, it's a lot that be going on behind the scenes when it comes to women being DL, men being DL, just gay shit in general. People are still very toxic in it and outside of it because the gay people have internalized the homophobia. Like the way a lot of the girls think nowadays, child, I be over there like, I guess we have not grown the way I thought we would have grown, child. Okay. It'd be a lot of heteronormativity, bitch. I do not have to fit into a certain box for you. Get away from me. Get away from me. Let's move on. Hold on. What else? Yeah, okay, that was the same thing. He never abused.
Wait a minute.
He never did it. Like, yeah, and also she got a restraining order, so I believe it. Let's move on. So we was getting into some gay shit, right? Okay, let's go here. So y'all, I had to post this because I just wanted to give my social commentary on this. I'm from New Orleans. A lot of Black people are around gay shit, but they are extremely homophobic. So if you see the young boys out in skirts and hairy legs, y'all are about to lose y'all fucking minds, right? Like, oh my God, this is so gay. What the fuck's going on in the world? My God, today the world is gonna end. They're letting boys wear little skirts. The world is about to end, right? But peep this. Men who sag their pants have been showing us their entire ass for decades now. Since the late 80s, people have been sagging. And now, since the 2010s, people have been sagging in skinny jeans. And I remember one time walking and just seeing a whole bunch of niggas sagging. And I'm like, wow, I can see their whole ass. Like, I can see their, like, the whole ass. Like, the belt is barely around the ass cheeks. But the way that the belt is around the ass cheeks, it gives ass cleavage. So there's a top of the ass that's like poking out through the underwear. Right? Like, and for some reason, I can see it, right? Because you would think the shirts are not big enough now to cover their ass. So they're sagging skinny jeans. The top of their ass is out. Nobody blinks an eye. And I'm talking about a lot of like, the male-centered, homophobic people in the Black community are perfectly okay with any type of clothing, any type of performance of clothing that looks like hood shit. So sagging looks like hood shit a lot of the times, right? So we're okay with sagging, even though the top of your ass is out. Y'all are okay with that. But y'all gonna lose y'all shit about these men having their thighs out. Y'all gonna lose y'all shit about these niggas having on little skirts that are the exact same size as the shorts from the basketball players of the 70s and 80s. No, they have nice legs. Some with a purple skirt on has really nice legs. And listen, this is like, you don't need to be with these people. You don't even need to care. BondyBlue isn't funny. Hold on, wait. Is somebody mad? Let me see. What I say wrong? BondyBlue isn't funny with these masculine presenting combos that the people who orchestrated this country was wearing heels, makeup, and wig. I don't know what this comment means. Write it again. But I mean, it's not meant to be taken too seriously, but it is meant for y'all to realize how everybody be losing their fucking mind, getting mad about shit. And when you really think about it, okay, you can see these niggas' legs, but y'all were okay with seeing these niggas' asses when they were sagging. You know what I'm saying? Like, isn't it funny? Oh, okay. Thank you. I was like, I'm confused. I don't know what we mean. I'm here for the bad. To me, I'm like, this low key reminds me, it's giving Riley Freeman. Yes. And I just want people to like understand something. Like, clothes don't make people gay. Liking dick makes people gay. I'm sorry, y'all. It just, listen. They trying to make fetch happen. But I also feel like whether these niggas had on jeans or skirts, the same activity was gonna be happening. That's another thing. Like, this nigga got on his little sister outfit. But y'all know the first song, it true be on some hot niggas. Like the way he twirl and he drop, nigga. These are some twirling niggas. And guess what? I'm gonna let the niggas twirl. To each his or her own. Yes, I'm gonna let the niggas twirl. Because I also have to let you niggas have the top half of y'all ass out. And I don't want to see that shit neither. But do we get in arguments about it? No. Like the way he twirl and he drop, nigga. Okay. Listen. I'm gonna go thumb on them. Okay. Twirl on your haters. Listen. I think it's hilarious. All right, y'all. I want to talk about something serious real quick. And I know everybody's been talking about Amanda because of the Jubilee situation. I have not watched it in full. I see some people saying that they enjoyed it. Some people saying it made their nerves bad. I don't want to get into it because it's probably gonna make my nerves bad. But I see the overall conversation is we love Amanda in this space. We like Amanda in debate form. We like Amanda arguing with stupid people. That's fun for us to watch. She annoys us any other time. Okay, that's what a lot of y'all are saying. But I want to talk about Amanda for this post that she put out today, and this is something that's been going on. And yeah, y'all, let's get into real life right quick. Just right quick, right fast.
So I'm not sure if you all have been keeping up with what's going on in Texas, but Democratic State Representative Nicole Collier has currently been kidnapped because she is being prevented from leaving the Texas State House unless she agrees to being monitored by Texas law enforcement. No, she literally spent the night in the house. As we know, the Democrats left the state last week and refused to return to create a quorum, which is the amount of people needed in order for a vote to be legitimate. They did not want to create a quorum because the vote was to create redistricting in Texas. Mm-hmm. What does Texas have to do with me, Amanda? This redistricting would create 5 new seats in districts that they have chopped and screwed and how they drew it up in order to ensure that it would go to Republicans. Mm-hmm. These new seats would create 5 new members of the House of Representatives, thus increasing the probability for there to be a higher Republican, MAGA fascist, majority in the House of Representatives in the midterms. Mm-hmm. So even if you're not in Texas, this matters to you. I know a lot of people get confused and frustrated at how all these different state things affect us on a federal level, but here is a great example. And Nicole Collier is actually doing what I'm always pleading with our Democrats to do, which is demonstrating being a public servant. She is representing right now. She's putting her body on the line for a legitimate stance that says, absolutely not, we will not go along with the Republicans. And we have seen too many Democrats do the opposite. So we stand with you, Nicole Collier, and shout to all of the people who have already been arrested trying to protest and get her out of there. And well, turns out, apparently, if I understand correctly from the Texans in my comments,
gotcha.
She and other Democrats returned because they had to get their paychecks because the Republicans made it so that their payments could only be done in paper checks and not direct deposit. And so they returned, which ended up creating a quorum in order to get their checks. There are actually Democrat representatives who have yet to return. So I'm going to go on and have to rescind all of that. But there is something to be said for her trying to right that wrong by doing this. But damn, there's always an asterisk. Damn, Tams.
Okay. So, just to talk about it real quick, real fast. It's a lot of crazy shit going on with the government. Texas trying to get those redistricting so that they can get those new seats so that they can vote to ruin your life even further. You know what I'm saying? I think one of the main things I saw that turned up on TikTok in real life was the everybody's getting ready for school, and a lot of moms are online complaining about having to get school supplies, not just for their kids but for the class as well. And I'm like, is that a direct issue from the Department of Education? Because I know, like, them getting rid of the Department of Education and all of the funding that was going to all of the things, inside of the Department of Education, including after school lunches and, sending extra money for supplies so that the teachers aren't always paying out of pocket, right? So now the rule is that everybody has to bring some for their child, but also extra for the class. And the moms are online losing their shit because they don't want to have to like buy shit for other people's kids. And know that's been an issue. Okay, because y'all know I don't have any kids, so I don't know. Y'all got to let me know. I know that it's an issue in some places. I just was wondering, was that a connected thing? But either way, I still feel like, of course, the Department of Education, the issues that we're going to see is probably going to be like for a minute now. For a minute now, you're going to be seeing people not being paid or schools not getting what they need, schools closing down. Like, I think the Department of Education going away is going to ruin a lot of the public school systems in a lot of the areas, but y'all will see. We still have a Department of Education. I thought he dismantled it as well. I mean, at least I know if it's still there, a lot of the funding is not going through to the things it was being funded for before. It was a rule in elementary school, but never beyond that. Okay. Child, we all love Amanda when she's right. Can't stand that bitch when she be wrong. That's not new. Teachers usually request parents to purchase some supplies in bulk for the class. Okay. They will make Corey and they will get 5 extra seats. Okay. Unless it's a party, I'm done buying ish for the class. Okay. Decades, they said. I feel like there was always a push for parents to get enough supplies for everyone. I think the way things are going, people feel less shame about pushing back. Aha. No, they have been required to buy stuff for years. Parents have been complaining about this over the past 5 years or more years. It's worse now. Okay, it's worse now. Because I'm like, I don't know why, like, almost every post, child, is somebody screaming about how they don't want to have to buy nothing for nobody else's children. Child, I don't know what happened to community. I just feel like I'm glad I don't have any kids. And not because I would have a problem with getting for other people's kids. It's because I don't want my kid to go to school with y'all kids. Because y'all not teaching y'all kids good values if y'all, and I get it. People don't have enough money for all of this shit all the time, but it does give into this individualistic mindset. And I don't really like that. They ask for paper towels, tissue, all sorts of stuff. And that'd be a lot. That'd be a lot for y'all to bring like extra paper towels and shit. Listen, I'm not judging you. I just spent $100 at Target. And listen, I don't go in Target anymore. I order, but I need to get my paper towels and my toilet tissue and my honest products and all of that. So yeah. My honey pot products. You provide for who doesn't have it. The federal funding ain't going through. And if there are some politics that the school adheres to, trans bathroom source, the feds will withhold money. Got you. Yeah, so basically starving the children out about shit that don't matter. Kids go through that stuff like water. Some of the kids whose parents are complaining do the same. We supposed to get the list. Then the teacher, then the teacher puts it all together in her bin and distributes it out amongst her students throughout the year. Okay, got it. I don't know. Like, I feel like if I was a parent, I wouldn't have an issue with that. But that's just because in general, I'm, like the type of person that like, ain't nothing, buy some fucking paper towels and shit in bulk and send it to the damn school. Like, socialism music. Listen, I think it should be, more communal. I don't think we should be so individualistic. I don't. As a community, I don't think that's healthy for us overall. But y'all know how people be, child. Let's move on. So, incident report accuses Stefon Diggs of drugging, assaulting, and robbing Chris Blake Griffin. Now, this is an old story, but I think they're bringing this back up, and I don't know why. According to an incident report filed with Montgomery Police, Christopher Blake Griffin accused NFL star Stefon Diggs of drugging, assaulting, and robbing him on May 22nd, 2023. Griffith further alleged Diggs later conspired to have him killed to prevent his gay bisexual secrets from being exposed after Griffin claims he denied his sexual advances. Oh, you thought that nigga was pretty and he was going to want you, and he said no. In the report, Griffin states Stefon Diggs drugged, sexually assaulted me on May 22nd, 2023, and then 1 week later, he conspired to have me killed on May 29th, 2023 to suppress his gay bisexual secrets from becoming exposed after I denied his sexual advances and now knew his secret. He also alleged Diggs offered him candy throughout the night, which he later realized was laced with drugs. That candy drug he gave me made my pupils so big I couldn't even see my eye color, made my skin tingle to the touch, made my body pulsate to music, increased my sex drive, and intense form, made it hard for me to form words into sentences, amongst other things. Child, sounds like a good time if you with the right person. And it's given Stefon Diggs was not the right person to be in that type of energy with. Griffin said once back at Diggs' residence, Diggs put his arm around me, put his tongue in my ear in a kissing fashion, while whispering to me, come to his room. I do not like when people stick their tongue in my ear. Do not stick your tongue in my ear. It is a outskirt situation, okay? It is around the ear. It is the earlobe. Do not stick your fucking tongue in my ear trying to give me a wet willy. That does not feel sexy. Thank you, though. Like, who does that? Griffith said once back at Diggs' residence. And why did he go? I guess because he was on drugs and shit. He went back to his residence. But anyway, the report further claims Griffin was later confronted, robbed of jewelry and belongings worth an estimated $300,000 to $500,000, and pressured by others to corroborate a false narrative. Griffin also alleged Diggs is operating a sex ring out of his residence and compared his assistant Lindsay Boland to Ghislaine Maxwell, writing that she practices witchcraft on sexual objects to prepare them for Stefon. These are allegations from an incident report. They have not been proven in court, and Stefon Diggs has not been convicted of any crime related to these claims. So we don't know if this is true or not. But I'm going to just tell y'all, I do feel like this situation is possibly true, and that's because Stefon Diggs gives a very intense energy. I think that a lot of like sexual, and I feel like Cardi B would need to be with a very sexual man. And sometimes bisexual men are really good at expanding one's sexual palette, if you will. Okay. There are men that I think take special interest in sex in a way. Yeah, like they would have somebody blessing sex toys and shit. They would. That would definitely happen. He does have that energy. And I remember that clip when him and Cardi was on that boat with all of them other women. Y'all remember? And it looked like the other women was taking some substances that we weren't sure what they were. Y'all remember that video that came out? Yeah. And Cardi was just sitting there on the bed watching the whole situation play out. Yeah. Like, bitch, don't fuck around and be Young Miami now. Don't fuck around and be Young Miami, bitch. Collect yourself. Because you the type of pick me that'll end up right there as a bottom bitch. Okay. So yeah, I definitely feel like there could be some truth. I also feel like Christopher Blake Griffin is a pretty man, and a lot of like big, you know, pit bull looking ass niggas. I had to look at him, you know. Yeah, I do feel like you would like the prettier man. You would. Like you would like this man and you would want to fuck this man, and this man would be used to people doing this type of shit to him and would not be easily pulled by your energy because it's scary. Anybody that is like is attracted to a certain extent and has had to deal with a lot of people coming at them, you will start to feel dangerous niggas energy when they come around you. Like you want to like trap me in a cage or some shit. Like that's what it feel like. And I feel like some might have been picking up on that from Stefon. Stefon does give that energy. And that's dangerous. It's a dangerous energy to have. Thank you, Scotty G, for the super chat. My 5-year-old was upset that a little girl tried to convince her a cheetah wasn't a big cat. We got to buy the extra supplies. It's bigger than Nino Brown. What? Oh my God. I'm so confused by all of this, but I agree that it's bigger than all of us, Nino Brown. Like I do agree, okay? But yeah, y'all, in the picture that they picked, he do look like one of them gay lions. He do look like one of them gay. Tell me this nigga don't look like a gay lion in this picture. This nigga look like one of them. You know how they sit up and they fall back down and they're on the ground. And yeah, next thing they, you know, on top of some damn male lion banging him out for dear God. But yeah, this is absolutely a possibility. I feel like it tracks, especially with Cardi. I think Cardi is one of those girls that will get into this. She would totally be okay with all of this fugaziness, all of this weird shit until it starts to become a problem for her. Then she won't like it anymore. So we'll see how this relationship works out. But when y'all remember when she was like, my nigga, and who got, you know what it is to be with a man, and he just got a big old like the way she was talking about him, yeah, he had her fucked out. Yeah. Definitely had her fucked out. Are lions gay? I believe some lions are gay. There's probably studies on that, you know. But a lot of y'all don't know how lions really work. Like a lot of y'all think like, you know, okay, so for instance, because online and TikTok when they be arguing about this shit, a lot of people feel like lions are like these masculine animals. Lions are pillow princesses that lay up all day and sleep. The female lions are the ones that actually go out and get food. They're the ones that like they do all the hard work. Yeah, lions are lazy. Like male lions are lazy. It's the Sarabi. Y'all remember on the Lion King when Scar called for Sarabi and all of her female homegirls and shit? That was because the women are the ones, the females are the ones that are actually going out there and getting food. They're the ones that actually sustain the environment that they're in, which means they're leading packs, right? They're leading packs to go and get food to bring back. The male lion basically impregnates the female lion and just lays up. So the roles that y'all think that men have as y'all relate them to like animals, y'all really just y'all supposed to be submissive house husbands. It's basically okay. When I watched Mufasa and discovered the women lions do everything, I was pissed. No, yeah. Male lions just lay around. That's why it's like, why you calling this nigga the king of the jungle? He didn't do nothing. Oh, he got hair. He got more hair. Y'all decide that the male lion is in charge because he got more hair. That shit is funny. That shit is funny. My God. But yeah, y'all, just a little fun fact about the lions. You know, people be having that shit all fucked up. Like, it's not what you think it is. Lionesses are providers and the lions are the territory defenders. Yeah. But basically, they lay inside and the women is out in the world, okay? And that's what I think y'all should do, though, men. I do think y'all should be defenders of the home base. Okay? Carry all of the kids on your body, nigga. You strong. You big. What's going on? Y'all, okay. So I think this might be the last thing I talk about. Okay? So y'all, this conversation about the Cheetah Girls. If y'all watch Cheetah Girls, y'all know the Cheetah Girls was basically black. One white girl and one Latina girl that y'all have tanned to look like a light-skinned black girl. Yeah, this is a black movie. This is a black franchise. Okay. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because once again, the people are talking about once again, people are talking about sorry, y'all, I had to see something. Raven Simone and her wife, and how people think her wife don't really like her. And I feel like I'm almost ready to like talk about the fact that I personally think that a lot of black people in entertainment, or black people that have reached a upper echelon of life access, like Raven Simone, I do think there becomes a detachment from blackness, because blackness can sometimes be equated to a certain life that a person is not living. So I do feel like Raven went through her, I'm trying to separate myself from blackness. And so I go and get with a white woman that doesn't know who I am for real, for real. And now I think because Raven is about around the same age as me, right? Raven is in her late 30s. As you are becoming more of who you are, the changes that you overcorrected for, you know what I'm saying? I think they start to become more prevalent. And I do feel like Raven's relationship with her wife is a projection of her telling y'all, I'm not that type of black girl. And I'm not mad about it, right? I'm not mad about it. But I'm starting to think that maybe their marriage might be something that eventually she grows out of. And not to say that she won't get with another white woman or with another non-black woman. Nobody gives a fuck. But I'm going to play the clip. Oh, hold on, wait. I'm sorry. Hold up. I forgot. It's not that long. Don't trip. Hold up.
No, because sometimes I look at these things and I'm just like, my gosh, like this show, it's called Tea Time with Raven and Miranda. The amount of times that people still ask what I'm doing sitting here is mind-boggling to me. It's like, I started this podcast, not Raven, me. Like, that's why I'm here.
Do y'all see Raven's face? 85? Yeah. So Raven's 3 years older than me. Yeah. So Raven is just now about to be 40. So yeah.
Like with watering cups, it's like,
and it's almost given. She's so cute. She really thinks that she started this podcast. She really thinks that people are here because of her, not realizing that everybody that's here is because they want to see me and my wife. That's the look that Raven had on her face right then. Okay, hold up. I want to show y'all something else.
How much did you know about Raven before y'all dated? I don't know if you grew up watching her stuff or not. I mean, obviously Raven is Raven Simone. You had to have watched That's So Raven, but maybe you weren't the biggest fan.
I actually had not watched any of that.
Yo, it's the way Raven automatically, you can tell this conversation low-key starts to aggravate her sometimes. You know why? And I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna tell y'all why. At the end of the day, with Keke Palmer good at her job, okay? Keke Palmer keep a fucking job because she good at her job. Listen, Keke Palmer was able to very lightly and energetically pull out of these two people that white girl grew up racist and therefore ignored Raven's show because it was a black female-led show. You don't see yourself enough in a black woman or a black girl in order to watch her TV show when you are literally watching the lineup of shows that come on her station? And you mean to tell me you wasn't watching her? You knew who she was and you did not watch her because she was black.
That's so Raven.
Are y'all the same age?
I'm older.
I'm 35. Raven is 37.
She has no excuse.
I'm like, now, what was you doing, Miss Mama, that you didn't see That's So Raven?
I know. It was
Tell her, babes. Tell her what you were watching instead.
God, here we go.
Degrassi?
No.
Meet
my sister. My sister watched.
No, it's not about your sister.
I'm trying.
What did you watch?
I watched Even Stevens.
She watched Lizzie
So wait a minute.
McGuire.
Okay, so you know, That's So Raven.
Anybody that's around our age range, you fucking know the lineup is Even Stevens, Lizzie McGuire, Raven Simone. There might have been another show in there somewhere, but this age group of people watching those shows at the same time, you have to be watching Raven's show at that time. You would be purposefully not watching her show if you're watching those other shows.
Even you just wasn't watching the show.
Correct. I knew of it, and I knew
you knew it watching the channel.
Yeah, totally. And
get your ass out.
Go where, Sharon?
To hell.
I knew who Raven Simone was.
Ish.
So you just specifically decided to avoid That's So Raven, the biggest show that Disney ever had?
Stop it.
Yeah.
See what I didn't. No, I made no decision. I didn't.
I made
it was
you did. In your mind, I'm not a black girl. That's not for me. I'm not going to watch that, which is so like, it's such an asshole thing, especially for the black girls that grew up watching white shit. For y'all to not watch our content when it's right there, as if we don't spend years watching y'all fucking vanilla ass white shows that's still in cool factor from the black community. Like, it's annoying.
Sat down at her table. I am not.
Yeah, I wrote into my diary. I declare I will never watch that.
But
show.
I mean,
It's the best show.
let's be honest. Even Stevens, Liz McGuire, That's So Raven are the three, like, those are the Disney Channel iconic shows. I mean, number one for me is That's So Raven. However, Lizzie McGuire, When You Believe, it was a very good show.
Yes, it was. I loved Lizzie McGuire. And also, so that means you ain't watch Xenon? You ain't watch motherfucking Xenon, bitch. Okay? You didn't watch Xenon? Get out of here, man.
Not gonna act like it wasn't. The little
And
cutaways.
Even Stevens is a good show too.
Even Stevens, I mean, we knew like that show was good. So I mean, I'm not mad at the taste, but That's So Raven, like that's crazy that you didn't.
Mad taste.
Now wait, so my thing is this: was there any point in your relationship? Obviously, I don't think you have much of an ego, Raven. So maybe this answer is absolutely not. But did you ever think at any moment like this girl is lying just so we could get together? Like she's just trying to act like she don't, did you ever, or did anybody ever try and tell you like she's lying? She totally was a fan.
Kiki. That's a good question. I think about that sometimes.
Not Miranda, but I've had others where I'm like, you lying. It's okay. We're living a lie. This is good. This is a good moment. But yeah, no, not Miranda.
So you did believe her. You did believe her when she said she didn't, she knew of you, but she wasn't like in the shit like that. You believed her.
Yeah, she wasn't in the shit. I believe her because I know her, and she can only keep like all of the little, I'm not gonna call them lies, all of the little falsies that she manipulated in order to whatever before we got married. As soon as we got married, she told me everything, and I re-asked her. She's like, nah. And I know it didn't happen because she was like, let's watch some things. She also never saw the Cheetah Girls. So
I mean, now it's starting to get ridiculous. Now I don't think that we're gonna make it.
Oh, come
because
on.
what in the entire
racial?
She never
Cheetah Girls.
Racial.
Hold on,
but I know
can't right now. She's on the first one, babe. She's on the first song, first episode. You're on your own. That ain't right.
I'm in strut right now.
Yes, girl. Raven. I mean, honestly, I really actually hate you for your childhood. Miranda, you missed out in your childhood, girl.
I'm gonna stop it right there because I don't know what they playing. But I think that we can now go ahead and say it with our chests that white lady that that white lady was racist. That white lady was raised racist. It's the 90s version of racism, so you don't really want to call it that. But that's what it was. To me, the 90s is like the only time where what else are you doing, bitch? Like, what else are you doing? The reason why I say that is because like the 90s is like the only time where we were all actively in each other's media, right? So for Black people, tell me y'all don't know the words, can you take me higher? Like, to a place. Like, Black people listen to rock music. Black people watched, white movies, white TV shows. And white people listen to rap. A lot of the 40 to 50 something year old white people right now, those people were all up and through hip hop in the 90s. They listen to it. Okay? So it to me, and then it also translates to Disney and Nickelodeon. So if you were a kid that watched Nickelodeon, you mean to tell me you didn't watch all that? You know what I'm saying? Like, we are literally at this time, a lot of our media is shared. Yes, MTV, all of that, we are sharing the space, which means y'all are more into our stuff. We're more into y'all stuff in this point in time. Now, y'all know racism, time goes on. We separate, we go back into our respective corners. Okay? And there's always people that like other shit. There are always going to be white people that like Black shit. There's always going to be, Black people that like white shit. Okay? But essentially, yes, come on, Linus Morissette. Don't even, because I've been wanting to watch Dogma again for a minute. Dogma used to be one of my favorite movies back in the day. That was what's your boy name? Ben Affleck and them. Okay, but Alanis Morissette played God in Dogma and did some of the songs from the soundtrack, and I just remember that movie. That always stuck with me. But anyway, that was something Silent Bob, your boy and Silent Bob. Y'all remember them? Yeah. Either way, I say all that to say, in that era, you had to make a special effort to avoid getting into Black people's entertainment. So I'm looking at her like, do you know you married a racist white girl? She may not be racist in a way of, oh, I wouldn't fuck a Black person. No, once you get older and you start being attracted to people, a lot of that shit that you had as a child goes out the window. But I do think it says, Jay and Silent Bob, thank you. I think it says a lot about the mentality of a person that skips over the Black show, even though all of the shows are running on the same channel. Why would you not just accidentally start watching some of these shows that Black people are in if you're already watching the other white shows? Like, for instance, Family Matters. Most people that were watching Step by Step were also watching Family Matters. You the one that would have turned the TV off after Step by Step came on, even though they was just gonna play, Family Matters right after it. Like, to me, I don't know. I just kind of feel like that says a lot about the type of person that Miranda is. And I think that if I'm being real and I'm being honest based on my feelings, I don't know these people, so I could be totally wrong. I am saying I could be totally wrong. But what it feels like to me is, in the process of Raven removing herself from the negatives of Black culture, you go and seek out community with people that are more like you in your weird ways, in your I like white people shit ways, right? You get into relationships, you feel seen, you love this person, but then as y'all be together for longer and you start to get older, you start to realize that at the end of the day, there's some nigga shit inside of you and there's some racist white person shit inside of that person, okay? And that's what I feel like is happening right now, because no matter what anybody says, Raven-Symoné shows up like a Black person, and I'm not talking about, and I don't want to say nigga because y'all gonna misunderstand me. This might get clipped and then somebody gonna hear it wrong. She is a Black person, but what I mean is When I'm sitting and watching Raven-Symoné talk, Raven-Symoné does not seem like one of those people that's trying to act like they not black. Just being herself. She's just being herself. So it feels like the more she becomes herself, the more those things will integrate, the more I wonder if this relationship will be sustainable for her long term, if Miranda is still living in the fog of whiteness, where you obviously were blocking out these black things because you are raised to block out black people. And because you're now married to a light-skinned black woman who has a certain level of I'm not black, I'm Raven-Symoné type shit. You know what I'm saying? It starts to feel like when you thought she was separating herself from blackness, being with her felt easier. But the more she becomes herself, will it be harder for y'all to maintain this relationship if she's still living in a fog of, yeah, I wasn't being racist, I just wasn't paying attention? No, you know, yeah, Raven isn't a nigga, but she definitely acts black. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And when I say this, you know, we have nigga moments. You know what I'm saying? Things that are obviously an old black man somewhere in your spirit speaking from deep inside. Okay? Raven has that. Raven has the energy of an older black man that has done his work and earned his money. Like, okay? A lot. Thank you for the super chat, self-made SM. A lot of black people watch Friends, and Seinfeld either thought it wasn't funny. Plus, Raven on The View showed her prejudice towards black people. Yes, but also understand that black people have internalized racism in such a way that there is a fine line of being pro-black and still being anti-black. This is how you get all your civil rights leaders being colorist. Okay? And then I also said, like, you know, I do think there was her trying to separate herself from blackness. I watch Friends. I watch Seinfeld. I be in and out. I don't know. But Frasier was fucking, was it Frasier? Yeah, I think it might have been Frasier, I thought. I don't know. Because I like other white shows. You know what I'm saying? I didn't really get into Friends like that. I tried. But my wife and kids and shit, you know, my daddy loved everybody loves Raymond. Like, you know, we watch white shows in my house. So, you know. Kimi Kim, thank you for the super chat. I remember they used to do the crossover episodes on TGIF. You had to watch all of them. Yes. Okay. Yes, squirrel. I read this one from Scotty G. Thank y'all for the super chats. I appreciate y'all. Logan, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you so much. Kimi Kim, thank you for another one. Did you watch Amanda Seales on Jubilee? I answered that at the beginning. I did not watch the whole thing, just clips. Angela, thank you for the super chat. Haven't sent love in a while. Just came to say, hey, I think Pretty V might be being sarcastic by using her words against her. Thank you so much. And you might be right, girl. I wish they would have posted more of it. Thank y'all for supporting the channel today. It is greatly appreciated. They're doing new shit on YouTube. So yeah, now they're marking us 18 years or older, which I don't have a problem with, but I also wonder, like, how is that going to affect my ads? You know? But yeah, no, I know a lot of black people. Will and Grace is my shit. Will and Grace is my shit. I love it. I got to go. Listen, love Will and Grace. No, Karen and what's your boy name? I'm spacing right now. Help me. Everybody from Will and Grace for real, but Karen and old boy together, hilarious. Karen and Jack. Karen and Jack scenes are the most hilarious fucking, bruh. Are you serious? Like, are you serious? Hilarious. If you're a black person and you have not ever watched Will and Grace, do yourself a favor. Bitch, do yourself a favor. Anything with Leslie Jordan in it. Do y'all remember they canceled it, but Leslie used to be on what's that show? I forgot the name of it. It was the Old Folks Home. And David Allen Greer was in it. That shit was good. That shit was hilarious. Leslie Jordan when he used to be on Will and Grace. Yes. But yeah, child, y'all gotta get into some of them white shows because some of them shows be funny as fuck. I mean, I just now got into Sex in the City, like in my adult years. I didn't watch Sex in the City when I was younger, when it was actually on. But it's a good show, child. I'll go to sleep with Sex in the City on. You know? And for black people, a lot of the times we like to watch shows that don't really have us in it, because when we're in it, there's always a racial angle that makes us feel anxiety. So we like watching white shows because we're not in them like that. Child, y'all already know I'm a charm fanatic. Golden Girls, y'all already know. You know what I'm saying? The Office, Brooklyn Nine-Nine is one of my favorites. I keep trying to get into Schitt's Creek. I started it, and it has its funny moments. I need to get into it. All in the Family, that was my dad's show. King of Queens, that was another one my people used to like to watch. I love me some Designing Women, child. Love it. But child, talk about Aisha. I didn't even care about that little spin of Aisha Tyler being on. Of course I watched Buffy. Y'all saw Buffy is getting a reboot. Did y'all see that? Buffy the Vampire Slayer is getting a reboot. I've been posting it on my stories on Instagram. Married with Children was another one my family used to like. Mama's Family was my shit. Listen, Ghost Whisperer, yes. That's what I'm about to say about Aisha. That was Aisha's show for real. Ghost Whisperer, that's my shit. Y'all know I love me some Jennifer Love Hewitt. Hate the way I always want to say Jennifer Love, huge tits. I hate that I always want to say that. I hate you niggas for making me sexist or misogynistic with things that rhyme. Okay. The Medium was my shit too. Oh, I watched The Medium from beginning to end. Pretty Little Liars was my shit. Bondi Raven has definitely said some questionable things when it comes to her blackness, so I'm not surprised that she's married to a racist wife. No, I'm not surprised either. And that's what I was saying. Like, that's the point. The point is, you would get with a woman like that when you are trying to create this separation between yourself and your blackness. And if there is an integration of your personality at some point, meaning that a reverence for the fact that I'm starting to get offended by this shit, I wonder how long the relationship will last. That's really what I mean. Oh, yeah. A mama who works too hard, a single mama who works too hard, who loves her kids and never stops, with gentle hands in the heart of a fighter. I'm a survivor. Don't make me start, y'all. Okay. You're so right, Bondi. Our TV shows always had to add religion and a race aspect. Yes. Like, no, I just won't watch people have regular life without all of this extra shit. The Will and Grace reboot was not very good. I think it's hard to recreate the magic of a certain time. You know what I mean? And I feel like Will and Grace, yeah. Like, even with they tried to do the reboot with Sex and the City. Like, everybody's complaining about that. They was watching that shit though. I never got into One Tree Hill, even though I know the people from it. I did get into Vampire Diaries. I believe when Vampire Diaries was on, I watched it from beginning to end. But How I Met Your Mother is my top list. The Nanny, that was another one we used to watch back in the day, so we can compare Regine's outfits to why am I always spacing on people's names like I don't know their name? But y'all know the lady who played Fran Drescher. Bondi, this lighting and cam is fire. Oh, good. I'm so glad. But anyway, y'all, let me go. I gave y'all a live. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'm about to go try to figure out a way to work out. Go find something to go do. I need to go do some upper body or something. But anyway, I love you guys. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day. And I'll see y'all tomorrow for something. All right. Peace out.